Hello students, how are you? Last week Nifty 50 opened at trend decider. Trend decider was 22,509 and on day 1 on Monday itself Nifty 50 started following and closed at 22,332 and by Wednesday it managed to hit the final support or 21,929. What was the ultimate low of the week? That was 21,905 and from there it set a pullback. On Thursday, again it managed to hit the final support. Low of the day is 21,917 and again there was a sharp pullback to 22,204. On Friday, again it managed to hit the final support. 3 days, Nifty managed to take the support very close to 21,929, which was the final support and bounced. Managed to take the final support and bounced all the 3 days. And it walked as a rock from trend decider to final support. And final support doesn't mean that, when I'm saying final support, that it has walked also as a final support. It managed to hold the fall for 3 days on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday on the final support. I'm very happy about the performance of mid-select. Mid-select started falling from Monday itself. Trend decider was 10,897 and from there in 3 days it dropped drastically. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all 3 red candles. Now on Tuesday, when it reached to 10,675, I posted new levels which were below even the final support. Those levels were 10,405 and 10,252 as a new support 1. And on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Nifty mid-cap select index managed to hold within the range of 10,252 and 10,538. It dropped just on 10,252 on Thursday. What is the low? 10,235 and our new support 1 was 10,252. It hit this new support 1 and managed a sharp pullback. This is the behavior of the bear market. Whenever there is a big fall, then there is a big pullback also. And it set a pullback where it managed to take the resistance this time. That was 10,538. Final support walked as a resistance. New high or high of the day of Thursday was 10,542. And what is the final support? That was 10,538. So it was a heart-moving performance by Nifty mid-select. Let's look at the Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty final support was 46,594. I provided a new support just below it and that was 46,330 and the low on Friday was 46,310. Dot on it. And then it closed just above the final support. Final support is 46,532 and closed at 46,594. Trend decider was 47,850 and the high is 47,853. Dot on it. Just 3 points. Trend decider walked as a trend decider, not about 0.01%. And from there it started falling and hold the final support on Thursday, 14th of March. On 15th, it managed to hit the new level which was being provided, 46,330 and set a pullback of about 250 or 300 points. Now let's check the Fin Nifty. Nifty Financial Services Index. Final support was 20,488 and it managed to take the support and 20,500 30, almost 40 points away from the final spot. So that was the performance of last week, which worked wonderfully. And the most important post was that March 12 to 14 are very important dates. When I posted this, let's check that. On 25th of Feb 2024, there was a post. The next dates to watch, March 12 to 14. And these dates worked as a rock. Before this, last time when I posted about the dates, those were 15th and 18th of January. And that was the rock bottom. From there onwards, most of the indices started northward journey. But what thing I want to add over here, this all was a guesswork. And by the grace of God, this guesswork worked as a rock. I don't know how it worked. I don't know how the price or the sport worked as a sport, and resistance worked as a resistance, trend decider worked as a trend decider. I don't know. That's all God's grace. From my side, it was just a guesswork, nothing more than that. With these words, lots of love, blessings, happy trading and happy investing to all my students. Last week I narrated a story where I said at the end, change the seats. I didn't know how the market indices, Nifty, Bank Nifty, Fin Nifty, Mid Select, all listened that story and shifted their seat from bull to bear. just for fun, just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Hello students, how are you? By the grace of God, weekly trading levels are ready and I am presenting over here. Last week, when Nifty 50 dropped in a big way, German DAX remained strong, posting yet another new all-time high on March 14th at 18,039. London FTSE made a new 9 months high and France CAC 40 hit all-time high on 15th of March, Friday. Bitcoin hit all-time high and corrected back by 8,000 points. Now remember one thing, you are in a volatile market. If you are investing in deliveries, it gives you less sense of volatility. Whereas if you are trading in futures and options, taking position in one direction is very riskier compared to if you are taking hedge position. Hedge position is where you have 2, 3 or 4 legs of your trade. Say if it's 4 legs, 2 buy, 2 sell, 3 legs, 2 buy, 1 sell, or 2 sell or 1 buy. If we talk about Warren Buffett, he was investing or he is investing with a long-term view, enjoying the ride on CAGR. The guru of Warren Buffett, Graham Benjamin, most of the time used to have the hedge positions, large position, but hedge positions. If we talk about George Soros or we talk about Carlos, they always used to have naked speculative positions. But remember, when you are trading or executing naked speculative position, there is a large risk in trading. What I recommend is always try to take a position when odds are in our favor. The probability of losing is small, limited, and winning probability is high, although if allow that position to grow to its extreme. Whenever you are in the market, always analyze risk and reward. If you don't know how to manage the risk, don't take the risk. If you can control the risk, then only. If you can manage the risk, then only take the risk. Otherwise, you can have exposure in delivery based transactions for a longer period. Yes, in options, there are so many strategies which provide you risk reward well in advance. And if you know the art how to trade with those strategies with a limited loss and limited profit, but probability to win in those strategies is much higher, go for it. Election dates are being announced. Market will be very volatile. I am advocating that market will be volatile since October 2023. If we talk about the price of Nifty, it is at the same level for the last 3 months. But in spite of that, there is a huge volatility. They are the large swings which are challenging the mindset of the traders. So always try to manage your trade with very small stop loss and large profit. It's easy to say, but actually we are trading with the money. It's difficult to manage unless we have the clarity. I wish God provide you all the clarity. With these words, lots of love, happy trading, happy investing, and lots of blessings. In US, high mortgage rates and limited inventory have created one of the tightest US housing market indicates. High interest rate is the main reason. Average mortgage rates currently are at 7% and would need to fall closer to the average outstanding loan rate of about 3.8% to attract new buyers and incentivize current homeowners to move. Then there is a limited supply also. Home builders are working through supply chain delays and labor shortage. And on the buying side, the lack of buyers for mortgage bonds is another critical factor keeping mortgage rates high. Once the interest rate starts to fall, more banks are likely to step back in as buyers. What are the expectations from here? Of 7%, at least mortgage rates falls to around 6% by year end, which is again a challenge, but yes, this is also quite possible. If mortgage rates falls to 6% by the year end, the possibility is that there can be a good number of transactions between the buyers and the sellers. Yes, still now, demand is much more, but to activate it, the lower mortgage rates are the key. Okay, there is a big shift in Asia's supply. In December 2023, combined exports from Korea and Taiwan to United States of America exceeded their export to mainland China for the first time in 2 decades. First time in 2 decades. We'll talk more about it in next week's post.